we are doing the basics of tap. So not just like basic steps, but what each little part of the steps are. Like, imagine it's your first day, or maybe it is. That's what we're learning, what the different steps are, what the different pieces of each step are. Now, there are two parts to your tap. This is a very, very important thing. You have the toe tap and the heel tap. Two completely different things. And you can use multiple parts of each one. There's some where we use the absolute tip, and then there's some where we use the absolute heel, or you use the entire toe tap or the entire heel, or maybe just the side of it. Lots of variations you can use. This is an instrument. It's not just a shoe. It is actually an instrument. So by the time you're done learning tap, you are an instrumentalist and a dancer at the same time. That's what I love about tap. Okay, so I'm gonna go through some different steps and just teach you what they are. I'm gonna go kind of quickly so this video isn't an hour long, but yeah. So the first one that I wanna show you is a toe. Now, there are many different ways to do a toe. Multiple teachers will use and toe for like 6,000 different things. But the first one I'm gonna teach you is a toe tap, just to lift and drop your toe. Now you can do it with your heel on the floor, just like that, or you can do it with your heel off the floor. Either way, it is the toe tap hitting the floor. Okay, so that is a toe. Then we have a heel. It is lifting your heel and then just dropping it. Heel, heel, lift and drop heel. Drop the heel on the floor. This is the entire heel. We've got heel. Okay, that is a heel. So we have toe and we have heel. Okay, so the next one is a bit of, this next one causes a couple arguments, but we're gonna be fine. Stamp and stomp. Depending on your teacher, these can be interchangeable. I would say about 80% of tap dancers believe one way and 20% of tap dancers believe another way. However, that does not make that 20% wrong. They're not wrong. It is just what they call it. That's one thing that you're gonna run into with tap, is that a lot of vocabulary and vernacular is just very person to person based. So there are some steps that have a specific name and that's it. And then there's steps that have 4 or 5 names. And then you're gonna be like, I'm in this class and I swear I should know this step, but I don't know what he's talking about. And then he does it, you're like, oh, he's doing that, and then answer what you call it there. This happens a lot. So anyway, stomp versus stamp. A stamp is like a lick it, stick it stamp on an envelope. You just take your whole foot, put it on the ground. And why I say lick it, stick it stamp is because it stays there. All of your weight goes to that foot. So stamp, like a stamp on an envelope, put it there and put your weight on it and don't pick it up. This foot would end up being free. That is a stamp. Now a stomp, the middle letter being that O, you want to think of like a ringing out of sound, which you can't get from flat sound. It has to be like, you have to let it go. So that O signifies that you want the sound to come up. No weight on it. So a stamp has weight. A stomp does not. At least in this video. Then you're gonna get another teacher who's gonna tell you the exact opposite, and they're not wrong, so you have to translate what they're saying and do it their way, because you should always respect your teacher. So for the purposes of my stuff, and like I would say a majority of other tap dancers, stamp, all of your weight on it, stomp. Let the sound ring out, okay? Next, we have a step. Just a step. You're like, wait, a step? Is that like just, okay, I walked? No, a step is a very, very specific thing. Tap dance happens in a specific position for the most part. Some people call this pop position. So you stand straight and then you lift your heels and pop your knees out. So you actually go on releve, but it's not ballet releve. I didn't get any taller when I pushed my knees out. I went forward. I didn't get any taller. And this gives you a nice bounceable, movable position in which to tap. For the most part, as a tap dancer, your heels are never going to touch the floor. It's unless it's like a step or it's like a dip. When you're doing a lot of the steps you're going to learn, your heels don't touch the floor. You're up here. Now, when you're first learning, you can put your heels on the floor for balance sake, but eventually you want to really get those heels off the floor for a majority of the steps. Like a step. A step is just stepping with all of your weight onto the ball of your foot. So if you step, and then if you want to step again, step. So this is a bunch of steps. My heels off the floor, all my weight's going on it, it's just on my toe tap. This is a bunch of steps, and it's very, very important that you know the difference between step and stamp. Because stamp is definitive, it's down, you're going to move to the next leg. From a step, there's still some stuff you can do here, and we'll get to that. But, so, step with the heel up, stamp with the heel down, stomp with the heel down, but it comes off the floor. Not confusing at all, right? It's fine. All right, so we have step, which means all of your weight goes on it, right? Step, 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 step. Now we have touch, which is the exact same thing as a step, except it doesn't have weight on it. Touch, touch. So imagine, if you will, somebody's trying to teach you how to like line dance or something, do like an old line dance, but they just want you to do step, touch, step, touch. It's very hip hop actually. You have step, touch, and then you go again. Step, touch, step, touch, step, touch, step, touch. So really all you're doing is, it's like a stomp with no weight on it, but only the toe tap touches. Okay? Step, and then touch. That's the difference. Okay? And this will come very, very much in handy. So a step has all your weight on it, but just on the toe tap. A touch has no weight on it, but just on the toe tap. Kind of like stamp and stomp, but not as confusing. Okay, so the next one we have toe, which I already said, didn't I? That's what I mean. So this is a toe tap, and then a regular, just a toe. So you take your foot and you have this little part of your tap right at the top right there, and that's the part you want to touch the floor. Now, depending on your shoe, you either have a large area, like I do, I have a very, very thick tap, or you have a very, very thin tap. Either way, what you want to watch out for is not just taking your foot and slamming it into the ground. That is not going to be good for anyone, including the floor. So really, it's just a light, and make sure it's the tap that touches and not really the leather of your shoe, because that's not going to give you a nice sound, you know? Toe. Same with the other foot. Toe. And you can do this in any which direction. It's all a toe, as long as the toe hits the floor and comes up. Most of the time, you don't want it to stay there, because that's too flat of a sound. You want it to come up and ring out. So that would be a toe. Now we have a dig. A dig is basically like a toe, but for the heel. So remember in the beginning we had drop your heel? That's called a heel. A dig is when you take the heel and you put it on the floor. So my foot is nice and flexed, and it's just that back part, just that little back part of the tap, and you go dig. Now from here there's lots to do, but we'll get there. But dig. In general, your weight's not technically on it. Like a toe, no weight on it. Dig, no weight on it. It can stay if you're moving onto it for the next thing, or it can come up, and that's it. So toe, dig. All right, moving along, we're doing well. Then we go back to step. We have step. Again, my weight's on it. Now we're just gonna drop our heel. So that becomes its own step. Step, heel. Step, heel. Step, heel. Step, drop your heel. Step, drop your heel. I'll turn around so you can see it from the back. So you have step, heel. Step, heel. Step, heel. Step, heel. Step all your weight on it. just drop that heel. It makes a nice rhythm. You want to keep it even for the most part, or go with the rhythm of whatever your choreographer is saying, but for the most part it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that would be step heel. There's only a few left in this basic components of tap steps. These are the parts that make up the sum. Sorry, I get really excited. All right, so we have hop, jump, and leap. They are not the same thing. So I gotta show you on my good leg, a hop. You start on one foot. Technically, you're supposed to be up on your toe. So you start on one foot, and you're going to jump up in the air and land on the same foot. A hop is single foot to single foot. Same foot. So you have hop, you're on one foot, hop. I would do it on my other foot, but no. So I'll turn it around so it looks like I'm doing it on the other foot. Now you're gonna hop, hop. A jump is 2 feet to 2 feet. So you're here, you plie, you jump up in the air, and then you land on both feet. That's a jump. Jump, jump, jump. Hop, hop, hop. Jump, jump. Hop, 1 foot, jump, 2 foot. So what's a leap? Jazz people are like, leap. No, it's not that big. That is the idea. A leap is 1 foot to the other foot. So I'm going to show you from bad leg to good leg because landings are a thing. So a leap goes from this foot to that foot. But in tap, it's little. That's a leap. In jazz, it's like, that's a leap. That big leap. Tap, it's like, leap, 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 leap. They're so little. But leap in and of itself is just 1 foot to the other foot. Doesn't matter how big it is. It can be like, that's still 1 foot to the other foot, still a leap. It can be tiny, tiny leap. So hop, single foot to single foot. Jump, 2 feet to 2 feet. Leap, 1 foot to the other. Heels off the ground. So then we have 3 more things. The difference between a brush and a spank. So a brush is when your foot starts off the floor. Brushes like a paintbrush hitting a piece of paper or a canvas, brushes and hits the floor. So it makes a significant sound, but it also has a nice shoo to it. Brush. And you can brush any which direction. You can brush from back to front. You can brush from side to side. Now, I did forget to say, toe tap only for the brush. Toe tap only. You can't like, that's a whole different step. That's a whole different step. Whole different step. We're just working on brushes, which is just the toe tap. It comes into play with the first full tap step you will learn for the most part, no matter who you are. The first full tap step you learn is a shuffle. That involves brushes. That only involves brushes. So, brush is just the toe tap. Brush forward from back. Now brush back from forward, right where you are. We skipped ahead, we just learned to shuffle. Oh, we got there. So try the other foot. Brush any which direction, from up to up, like a pendulum swing. Okay? Brush. A spank is when you start from the floor. Let's do this. Your right foot is on the floor. You're gonna rock back into that heel. Your heel's on the floor. And you're gonna go spank, like a mouse trap. It goes from here, hits the floor, and goes back. So I'll show you this way. So it's just like a brush, but you start from the floor. So your heel is there, your toes up a little bit, and you go spank. So a brush goes from up here, and a spank comes from down here. All right, so try the other foot, spank. Brush, spank. That's the difference. Okay, we have one last step to learn. It is a chug. Love this step. So it has nothing to do with drinking water really, really fast. This is, and it has nothing to do with training either. This is just taking 1 foot or 2 feet, but we'll work with 1 foot, you lift up your heel, you scoot it forward and drop your heel. So it has this, like, you pick it up, slide forward, drop the heel at the end. Lift it up, slide forward, drop the heel. You can even do both feet at the same time. Lift up, slide forward, drop heel. So it has a little slide to it. So it's a little scoot, drop, scoot, drop, scoot, drop. All right, that's like the slow-mo version. Scoot, drop, scoot, drop, scoot, drop. All that is a chuck. All right, so we have learned a lot of terms today, but you will use them in every single step that you will ever learn as a tap dancer. Okay, so we're gonna do a quick review of all of those steps. So we have a toe tap. Can also be done. We have a heel. Those are heels. We have a stamp. Try to think in your head, which one is a stamp? It's the one with all of your weight. Stamp. All right, now we have a stomp. No weight. Other foot. Whole foot hits the floor. Like you're stomping out a fire. All right, so then we have step, which is just up on your toes and you just step, 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 step. But you're walking, but like changing your weight and you're just up on your toes. Step. Now we have touch. Touch, just your toe tap. Touch, no weight on it, it's ready to go. Touch, whether you leave it there, I can still use this foot again. Touch or touch. And then we can put those together. Step, touch, step, touch, step, touch, step, touch. Okay? Then we have toe and dig. Toe as in the tip of the toe. 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 And then we have dig. 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 Now, I forgot to say, be careful with dig. Do not lock your knee. Don't like have a straight leg. It's still bent. Dig. It's hard to see with that one, sorry. Dig. It is still very, very much a bent leg, okay? So, dig, dig. Now, we have step, drop your heel. So this takes it back to that step. Now drop your heel. Step, heel, step, heel, step, heel. All right, we're almost done. We have hop, 1 foot to 1 foot. We have jump, 2 feet to 2 feet. And then we have leap, 1 foot to 1 foot. In general, heels off the floor for all 3 of those. Then we have brush, which starts off the floor. Brush, brush the other way. That is a reverse shuffle. So start on the left foot, brush forward, brush back. That is a shuffle. And that, I'm getting you ahead for the next lesson. So you have brush and brush. Now we have spank, which starts on the floor. Lift your toe, spank. Do it again, lift your toe, spank. Other side, lift your toe, spank. And spank. Good. And the last one was a chug. So either 1 foot, scoot, scoot, drop, scoot, drop. Other foot, scoot, drop. Or you can do 2 feet. Scoot, drop. All right, and those are your basic components of tap steps. I hope you had a lot of fun learning these. In the next videos that you do, we're gonna learn some more steps. And yeah, so thank you for tapping with me today.